Every singer that you've mentioned in this interview, they all have one thing in common, which is I demand in a singer. Otherwise, and I can hear it straight away in 3 notes. Honesty. And it's not that you say, I'm going to be honest. You either are honest or you can't. And I'm not a big fan of Michael Bublé. And the reason why is when I hear him singing, what I hear is, listen to me. I'm amazing. Am I just amazing? Aren't you lucky to hear this beautiful voice? I'm sure he's a nice guy. As a matter of fact, I don't think he probably is. But
you.
What?
Loves you.
He's probably at home crying now. He's giving out about me. I have to count my $8 million. I'm playing to 60,000 people. But you're so you're honest as a singer, and that's what grabs me. It grabs me. I don't care how brilliant the singer sounds, how like Christina Aguilera, whoever. If they don't have that vocation, as you say, it's not going to happen. John Lennon kills me when he sings Angela, or he sings Love, or he sings one of the greatest, most honest lyrics ever written for me, Mary, is Mother, you had me, I never had you. Who would write a lyric like that? Only John Lennon. Incredible.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Right. You're right. Yeah.
we could talk about singers, but I want to make a little confession. I said I have heard the Pop Deluxe album, but the reason why I didn't say I heard it was I didn't buy it. And when I listen to albums on YouTube, I buy them then, because being a musician, and I hate Spotify. So I do know the album, and I love that there's a lot of dissonance going on in that album, which I love, which I think is your jazz. I've listened to the album on YouTube twice, and I always feel like a cheat doing that. But for the record, for the people listening, I buy the album then. I'm unemployed at the moment.
The album, I think what this album did, it encompasses everything I've done. So it encompasses pop, soul, and jazz, and it's a real mishmash of the whole thing, and that's how it's come out like that, you know. But now it's time for me to write again, because that was a covers album, and so was the one before, actually, a completely different type of album, but. Now it's time, and so I've been writing some new stuff because, I don't want to keep doing covers. You know, it's great, but
Yeah, well, Elvis and Sinatra did covers, and there's someone like Michael Jackson didn't do that many originals, and I think it's great to be able to do both, and you do both so well. Some people just can't do covers; they just don't know how to. Really quick before we get to the Proust question here, do you write on piano or guitar?
I'm not very good on either, if I'm honest with you. I play a bit of guitar. I'm not very good on piano. I usually what happens with me is lyrics and melodies come out at the same time, usually. And then I call Alistair or Richard Cottle, my current keyboard player, or whoever, or Matt Backer, my guitarist, and I say, "Oh, come round, I've got this thing. Do you want to write a song with me?" And that's kind of how I do it. Is I'll sing it into my phone, and then I'll leave it and I'll come back to it. And that's usually how it happens. Or it starts from scratch with one of my musicians.
Right. And once you get there, that's all that matters. Once you get the songs and you've gotten the songs, like Moon and Back is an absolute beauty. It's almost like Mozartian. If Mozart did write Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, it's got that feel to it. It's just...
Well, actually, I did write that on my own, funnily enough.
Brilliant.
That's the weird thing. Because my husband was the producer of The Young and the Restless for 3 years in America, because we've got a place in America, in LA. That's where he is now, funnily enough. And I was over there with him, and I was going back the next day to here, and he said, I don't suppose, do you think you could write a song? The storyline is about this old lady in the show who's got Alzheimer's, and we need like a song that she used to sing to her children. So it's got to sound slightly old-fashioned, blah, blah, blah. He said, something like K Sarah Sarah. I said, oh, no pressure then. That one, how many? I was arriving back in London on the Thursday, and I said, well, when do you need it by? He said, Friday. I said, wait a minute. So, but it's weird. When you've got a deadline, something happens and you just go, And I remember I sat exactly where I'm sitting now. I sat here with my phone and I thought, right. And we talked about titles and stuff, and came up with Moon and Back. And I just kind of did it. It was quite odd, really. I mean, I did go to the piano a bit, but I'm not very good. My daughter's great. She plays piano and guitar and sings, you know. Um, so yeah, so that's unusual. I did write that one on my own, and then I got the MD at the Young and the Restless to step in and help me with the middle eight.
Right. Well, it's a beautiful melody. And we lead. You're in good company because Nelson Riddle was writing the chart for "I Got You Under My Skin" as his wife was driving him to the studio to record that classic of ever. So you're in good company. So listen. As you can tell, I'm Irish and we're both Celtic. We could talk forever. And the fact that we're talking about singing and music, but I know we have to eventually stop. So why don't we get to the Proust questionnaire?
Okay.
Give it a go?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just start with the first one. Okay, Mary Wilson, what is your idea of perfect happiness?
Right. Well, I don't know what your other guests have been like, but it's quite a hard question to answer, isn't it? Because there's lots of things. So I've got a few. So one of them is probably playing with my band to a full house with my big band, and just for that thing that's in the air that happens sometimes that is just so special. In fact, when I played in New York in 1983, I played at oh my God, what was the name of the venue? Of course, I can't remember now. But the Palace? No. Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, that was one of those gigs. It was just like very special. And I did one at Wilton's Music Hall last year, which was also very special. So that is perfect happiness. Disneyland with my husband and my daughter, because we're Disney freaks. There's Disney everywhere in our house. And we just absolutely love it. So it's sad we haven't been there this year.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Tuesday mornings when I bring in the bins, there's something about that. The bins been emptied and I put them back. That makes me really happy. Because I think, I've got to put the bins out. And then Tuesday, I bring them in and it's like, yeah, the bins are emptied. I've got no idea why, but it makes me very happy.
That might be quote of the interview.
Could be. Yeah.
Brilliant. And there's many great quotes. Yeah. Okay, Mary, what is your greatest achievement?
Well, apart from the obvious, my daughter, and my marriage, actually, and my lovely husband, I would say it's getting to the age of 66 with type 1 diabetes, because I've had it for 42 years. I've been on insulin. And so I'm still okay. I haven't gone blind. I haven't lost any limbs. So far, so good. So I think that's an achievement, really.
Brilliant. I can't even respond to that. I don't know what I would say that would make any sense except holy fuck.
Yes, I know. I remember when I did go to New York to do a press stuff, and I sat at this table with all these journalists, and they all kept saying to me, "How can you tour? How can you do this having type 1 diabetes?" And it's like I thought, how can I not? It never really occurred to me, but. Yeah, when I first got it, I had to really educate myself about it. And, so I keep very fit. I do a lot of exercise and stuff and eat healthily. And I'm still here. Right. So that's my achievement.
And still looking fantastic. What is your greatest extravagance? What's your greatest extravagance, Mary?
Clothes, without doubt. Clothes.
I love it. What is your current state of mind?
Optimistic.
I was going to say...
I'm optimistic about the virus going away and about... I think maybe people are going to be nicer and kinder and all that, maybe. And also a certain person and a certain orange person has...
Do you know what's funny, Mary? We're all wearing a form of orange right now. Jessica has an orange top on. You're kind of orange red, and I've got orange. How crazy is that?
It's actually red.
Yeah.
Is it red? I'm colorblind.
Yes, it is red. I didn't like to say, but yeah.
I always get orange and red mixed up as well. What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Celebrity and fame. We sort of touched on it a bit earlier, but I think people have become a bit obsessed with it. And it's I hate it when people say to me, "Oh, we're looking for some celebrities, and we thought you might like." I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to be called a celebrity. You wouldn't call Debbie Harry or Chrissy Hind a celebrity. Not that I'm comparing myself with them, goodness, but that I aspire to being like them. I don't want to be a celebrity. What is that? What is Kim Kardashian? What actually is she? What does she do?
I know nothing.
So I don't even. It's not a virtue, is it?
But
that's all I could think.
Okay, it works. What is the quality you most like in a person?
Kindness. Kindness.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just like Ron. Ron is one of the kindest people you ever talk to, right?
Oh, lovely. Isn't he lovely? Yeah.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Blimey. I'm always going, oh, blimey. and Mal is always saying that I'm stuck in 1957 because I'll say things like, shut your cake hole. I tell you what was really funny. We were at the Hollywood Bowl to see The Sound of Music, right? And this big thing came up. There was me and my husband and my daughter. This big thing came up saying who was in it. And it said, Maria is going to be played by Kay Cole. Of course, we just got hysterical. Kay Cole, she can never have a career in England. Kay Cole. And all the Americans were looking at me like, what's the matter? But I just thought, Kay Cole, So I say, look at me, I'm in the Nash. You like me, Nashers? Now says I'm just basically stuck in 1957 in a Carry On film or something, But, blimey, yeah.
To recover me Nashers. I say that to my wife and daughter are American. But I'll say, I mean, the Nashers in your one, whatever. The bleeding Nashers in your one, the head in your man.
Yeah. Brilliant.
What do you most value in your friends, Mary?
Loyalty.
I love you. I don't even know you and I love you. Which historical figure do you most identify with?
Well, this was the hard one. So I've chosen Marie Antoinette because we had very similar hairdos. If anyone knows Marie Antoinette, she had these massive wigs,
Right.
Although it's a wig, but yeah. So Marie Antoinette, let's go with her.
Okay, we'll just keep the head. Yeah, definitely we got to do that. Okay, so our last question, Mary, is the name of our show. Mary Wilson, what is America to you?
Okay, America is it's full of colour and sunshine and big refrigerators. And as a kid, what America is to me is watching Dick Van Dyke, Mary Tyler Moore, and looking at and the monkeys, and just looking at the houses and thinking, oh my God, there's so much sunshine and colour, and people have got swimming pools. And post-war Britain was grim, man. It was grim. I mean, I grew up with an outside toilet and a tin bath, and we would have a bath once a week. I mean, for God's sake, when we were little. I mean, not when I was 28. And so America was so different, and I kind of longed to go there. And at the age of 18, I did go there. I was a nanny to 3 girls, and I'm still in touch with all of them, which is great. And I couldn't, and I lived on Long Island in this massive house with a swimming pool, and it was so different. It was so different. The first time they said to me, oh, we're going to have lobster tonight. What? Lobster? Is that the same as sardines on toast? No. It's very different, and it means opportunity. Great Britain tends to kind of discourage you from getting above yourself. I mean, I think America, the problem is race, and the UK, the problem is class, because class still exists, and you've got to know your place. And so if you start to get quite successful, you're pushed down a bit, really. Don't get too successful. Whereas in America, it's like, great, you're successful. So I like that, and probably Disneyland. Well, when it first opened, when I was a nanny, we went there.
All right.
So Disney's always been in my life.
Is that why you did Disney Girls, or was it just the fact that you loved the song?
Oh no, I just love the song because, you know, the Beach Boys, you know, that's America, isn't it? The Beach Boys, the Four Seasons, you know.
Seasons.
I mean, I went to see Frankie Valli a couple of years ago. They had so many hits. And every song, I was like, I was in absolute heaven. Those songs, my God, those songs and his voice.
Yeah, and the drummer is incredible. And listen, what you said about UK and America, I'm the same. Ireland is like, who do you think get back down? America is like, oh my God, you're amazing. Come on, here's a gig. Come to my house. Yeah. Speaking of American houses, when we interviewed Ron, I know you and Ron are friends, I extended an invite that if he ever comes down to New York, which he plans to do after COVID, we have a very big house. The kids are mostly gone. And we have many spare bedrooms. So if you were ever over with Mal and your daughter, you're welcome to come stay at our house. Save you.
Oh, very kind.
We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
We're talking music all night. We have a billiard table so you can play some billiards. Would you imagine if you and Ron came at the same time? That'd be like ridiculous.
I'd love to sing with him. I haven't sung with him. I'd love to sing with him. I think it would be, you know, really, really great, actually, she says. Very modest.
Let's make that happen. You and Ron doing a duet. Let's think of one.
I'd have to bring the cameras over.
Yeah, we have to. Jessica, bring the cameras over. But listen, Mary, believe me, it's not because I don't want to speak. I would speak to you for hours. You know, it's just you're funny as fucking all hell. Let me tell you that.
It can be amusing.
Yeah, brilliant. So I can't thank you enough. And it's been a great pleasure to meet you after all these years. Never thought I'd meet you or talk to you or anything. You know, Mary Wilson.
Well, very nice to meet you. I want to hear your music now.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff, but you know,
something. Yeah.
I can hear somebody saying it's shite.
The intro song you wrote.
Oh yeah, I wrote the intro song, but I'll send you. I actually did a duet with my daughter. I wrote a Christmas song and she sang. My daughter's an amazing singer. I'm not one of those parents that goes, my daughter's amazing. And you're like, what? Her like, anyway, we forget about that. I'll send you some stuff.
Good for her. That's
great. And she's an incredible human being. And all you said about kindness and stuff, that's the key. Kindness and like, I don't understand racism, homophobia, all those things. I mean, I want to pull my brain out and throw it on the ground and go, I'm done when people get like that. And it has to change. Now, we could talk forever about that, but it has got to change. It has to. And maybe this COVID will be a kickstart for us on that, you know?
I think this whole year, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter and everything, and the you know, we've come a long way with gay people as well, having children and being accepted, and trans people, and we're really, you know, and we're still in this sort of transition, aren't we? So, I mean, probably when I'm long gone, you know, 30 years time or something, it's going to be a completely, well, I hope it'll be a completely different world, you know. And also America's enormous, isn't it? Enormous.
Oh, it's like 50 different countries in one thing. I'll leave you with this. I'm trying to get this thing going about a World Day of Apology. And I'll send you an email about it. I'm trying to get a movement going where we just basically, on behalf of our ancestors, we apologise for what we've done to the minority groups, gays, transgenders, women, whatever. Just something. I think we need something like that. And, you know, we don't know what the future holds. And many great things have happened in the world, but we're constantly fighting bad. But listen, Mary, if I get into that now, we will be here longer than we would be if we talked about singing.
Yes, I've got to eat at some point. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, Mary Wilson, thank you for appearing on What is America to You from me and Jessica. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Had a good time.
You too. Bye for now. Yeah. Well, what can I say? That was the great Mary Wilson. Great personality, beautiful. As somebody said, she was foxy, and I think she really is. And we had a great chat afterwards for about half an hour, right?
Yeah, she's a wonderful person and beautiful and kind.
The more you, and I said to her, and we both agreed, and I'm sure you saw this watching it, it was like talking to an aunt or a cousin or somebody that was friends since you were a kid down the road. It was unbelievable. So listen, guys, thank you for tuning in. We got some great interviews coming up with the great Kathy McGuire, Irish singer, with an incredible resume, and of course the great Don McLean coming up sometime in the next month. We all know who Don McLean is, if you don't need to say. American Pie, just like our show, I have the word American in it. So listen, thanks a lot. From us here, me and Jessica, and What is America to You? Goodbye for now.
Driving along, minding my own business, heading east through the Kentucky rain. There on the radio, Johnny Cash was singing. I hurt myself just to see if I still feel pain.